Is there a new 360 camera in the horizon? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you why I do not expect a new 360 camera anytime in the immediate future. Now, I could be wrong, so I'm going to share with you the facts that I used to arrive at my conclusion. And even if I'm wrong, I'm going to show you why a new 360 camera might not matter as much as you think. So we're gonna discuss news about Insta360, GoPro, Ricoh, and Kandao. First, let's do the simpler ones, starting with GoPro. Now, the GoPro Fusion was released in 2017, the GoPro MAX was released in 2019, and it seems logical to expect a new 360 camera from GoPro in 2021. Now, the GoPro Hero 10 was leaked a few days ago, with no news about a successor to GoPro Max. Now, speaking of the GoPro Hero 10, we saw that it has the same resolution as the Hero 9, but a higher frame rate. Now, without the new sensor from GoPro, it seems less likely that there will be a new 360 camera from GoPro with a higher resolution than the GoPro Max. If ever there was a new Max in the near future, then at best we could get higher frame rates. That's it. Next, let's talk about Ricoh. So Ricoh did say that they are having a new 360 camera, a new successor to the Theta Z1. But it's just a matter of time. So, well, they just released a new version of the Theta Z1 with 51 gigs memory. So that was just a few months ago. So it doesn't seem like they're going to release the new version of the Theta Z1 in the immediate future. It looks like it's at least a few months away. Next, let's talk about Kandao. Now, if you wanted to buy the Qoocam 8K right now and you go on their website, you'll find that it's actually out of stock. It's been out of stock for a few weeks now. Here's the thing. If you were Kandao, then now would be a great time to let people know that you have a new 360 camera coming, right? But they haven't done that, even though this seems like an ideal time for it. So that's why I don't expect anything from Kandao in the immediate future. Now, it could be that Kandao's decided to focus on the pro market and they're busy with the Obsidian Pro. So their next 360 camera would probably be at least several months away. Next, let's talk about Insta360. So, all right, historically, Insta360 has released a new camera, a new 360 camera every year at around one of two times. Usually it's around September to October or in January. Now, so for example, uh, for September, October releases, you have the Insta360 the One X, Insta360 Go, and the One X2. Examples of cameras released in January include the Insta360 Air, the Nano S, and the Insta360 One R. So these two dates or time frames are not accidental. They're logical because the September October prepares them for selling cameras in time for the holiday, and January is CES. Now, this year 2021, CES was virtual. It wasn't in person. And so it was a much smaller event than in previous years. And in fact, Insta360 was not an exhibitor on this year's CES. So this year's camera, the Insta360 Go 2, was not announced at CES. Instead, it was announced in March, breaking with the pattern of releasing in one of those two other time frames. So what about 2022? Well, 2022, there will be an in-person CES again. I'm guessing that it won't be as big as in previous years. Insta360 might again decide not to go the next CES, which makes their next release less predictable. Now here's the other thing. When Insta360 releases a new 360 camera, they almost always have a teaser trailer for it. Usually like several weeks ahead of it, sometimes a month or even longer. And I haven't seen a teaser from them yet, even though now would be a pretty good time to announce a new 360 camera if they were going to release one in time for the holiday. Now, some of you may be disappointed if there's no new 360 camera, but let me show you why it might not matter as much as you think. Now, in the early days of the 360 camera industry, we saw huge improvements in video quality every year. Like we started with the Ricoh Theta, which didn't even have video. Then there was the Theta M15, which added 2K video, 1920 by 960. Then the following year, we saw the Insta360 Nano, which had 3K resolution. Then the year after that, it was the Insta360 One with 4K resolution. Again, it was a big leap from the Nano's 3K. Then we saw the GoPro Fusion, which was again another big improvement over the Insta360's video resolution. After the GoPro Fusion, in my opinion, there hasn't been that much of an improvement in video quality. At least nothing like what we saw in the early years of the 360 industry. So if you get the GoPro Fusion footage, like this one that we shot on a cruise, and you compare it to the best of this generation, like let's say the Qoocam 8K or the 1X2, you'll see that the video quality is not that much different. The GoPro Fusion, in my opinion, looks comparable to these best new 360 cameras. So I think we've hit a point of diminishing returns. And although that might sound disappointing, we've come a really long way. I mean, check this out. Here's footage from the Nokia Ozo. This is a 360 camera, a professional 360 camera that cost $60,000 when it was first released. And the video quality doesn't look as good as the current generation of 360 cameras that can fit in your pocket. Now here's footage from the GoPro Omni. It does look a little more detailed, but not by a huge margin over the best of today's 360 cameras. So that just gives you a little bit of perspective about how good we have it today with our current generation of 360 cameras. So if we do get a new 360 camera, even an 8K 360 camera, I would expect the video quality would be not that much different from the current generation. Now, I've been talking about video quality. For photo quality, the story's been a little bit different. For a long time, the photo quality was stagnant. But then, with the Theta Z1 and the X phase, we got huge improvements in photo quality. So I have higher hopes of improving photo quality than of seeing a higher video quality. Now, having said that, I doubt if there will be a 360 camera soon that can beat a DSLR for photos. So if you're thinking about doing virtual tours professionally, you're pretty much safe as long as you're shooting with DSLR anyway. Meanwhile, though, there's a segment of 360 cameras that has been having new and exciting developments. Talk about invisible 360 camera drones. So, for example, the Adapa 360 is a new 8K 360 camera drone. And here's a demo that shows it has position hold. Now, they invited me to serve on their board of advisors, so I may be able to test their new invisible drone. Now here's another really cool one. This one's by Andriy Shramko. It's called the Shramko 360 drone, and it's unique because it's invisible to almost any 360 camera, including the Insta360 One X2. It's that slim. It's not in production, but I'm helping Andriy look for a builder for it. And next is Spider Cinematics Mojo. It's not a 360 camera drone per se, but it's similar to a 360 camera drone in being able to capture some unique angles. Now, I've seen it under NDA, so I can't describe it in detail, but I can tell you it's a very cool and unique design, and I'm really looking forward to trying it out. Speaking of invisible drones, here's one that I'm really excited about. This is the newbie drone Invisi 360. I've actually been able to use it on a project for a client already, and I'm really excited to post a review of this really soon. I'm just waiting for the client's approval to release footage from the project I did for them. So thanks for watching, and if you are passionate about 360 cameras and 360 camera techniques, then hit subscribe, and I'll see you in 360.